for the real estate world, if you don't have a content marketing strategy and you aren't leveraging something that can make it so you can tackle your clientele at scale, be competitive on like ranking on pages, you're going to be left behind very, very quickly.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Triangle Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fagioli, and today my guest is Shane Laufman, who is with Prymo, which Fagioli, Italian background, anything called Prymo I like. But you guys are going to absolutely love Prymo because it is the hot new AI tool. And as everybody knows, there's a million new tools coming out in the last 12 months that are AI related. But it's really interesting to figure out which ones are going to work for real estate, which ones are next level in terms of the level of intuitiveness that they bring to the user. How easy is it for me to use, and how's it going to help my real estate business? So I'm really excited for you guys to hear more about this from Shane. So welcome, my friend. How are you?
I am doing wonderful.
Well, Shane, tell us about Prymo. How do you describe the product, first of all, and what's the problem that we're solving?
Yeah, absolutely. So Prymo is really just your fundamental component for your content marketing. And our AI handles it all the way up from your ideation straight to the point where you just have to hit with one click the publish button. So really, this is solving a lot of problems, a lot of challenges that we find people who are brokers, people who are obviously in real estate, or even like lawyers, they just don't have the time in their day to worry about a content marketing strategies. And a lot of these other agencies that they may have tried to hire, they're really only good at like one, maybe two things. And with this whole entire suite, they're not able to really allocate enough time, enough energy to make it so that when you are trying to connect with your customer, when you're trying to get that new client or that new person who's interested in what you're providing, they just don't have the time to be able to do it at scale without, of course, it becoming really, really expensive. So when you're, that's the power of leveraging the AI. We can do a massive amount of posts at scale without sacrificing any of your time or without making it so that there's any sort of other restrictions. Also, on top of that, I don't know if your community is familiar with SEO, familiar with ranking, familiar with content marketing as a general statement. But another problem, of course, is it's not just writing good quality content. It's being able to write good quality content at a high frequency that's also clear, concise. You're avoiding burnout. And also, you want it to be something that's always up to date that Google will love. To check off all these boxes is near to impossible without leveraging AI these days, especially with the new algorithms that come out. So for the real estate world, if you don't have a content marketing strategy and you aren't leveraging something that can make it so you can tackle your clientele at scale, be competitive on like ranking on pages, you're going to be left behind very, very quickly. Because as you mentioned, Matt, there's so many new tools, there's so many different AIs and just ways that the landscape's going to transform practically overnight. And as far as I can tell, it already has. So yeah, it's time, money savings, and make it so you focus on what matters most, which is, of course, sitting down with those clients and making those sales.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is a pivotal turning point for a lot of agents and brokers, because I think that most people shy away from SEO because it's a little bit of a long game and it's usually very expensive and or time consuming.
Yeah.
And so I think most people have shied away from it. And then it's just sort of this black art to it anyway. And when the transition to ChatGPT certainly makes it possible, but now I really do have to be a fairly sophisticated user of ChatGPT to pull this off anyway, right? And there's hours involved as well. So now this next iteration, which Prymo represents and some others, is the place where it's like, oh, this actually can work at scale with very, very limited amounts of my time. So the way you described it to me, the product's going to write all these posts for me
Mhm.
and line them up in my WordPress site or wherever, and in order for me to approve them. Is that right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's all you have to worry about is just the one click. We call ourselves the home of the one click blog post, effectively. It shows up in your draft section. You don't have to ever think about it. You don't have to come up with any ideas, and you just show up, drink your coffee, open your laptop. If you're already logged in, fantastic. You're saving an extra 3 seconds of your life, and you're just clicking post. And so that's as easy as it is. And I think you brought up a really great point. Like if you're leveraging ChatGPT, you have to be sophisticated. You have to know what you're looking for. And I don't know of too many people who are trying to be a master of, real estate, plus a master of SEO, plus a master of content marketing, plus a master of being able to do backlinking, metadata, and then still have to connect that all to their website and make sure that's also up to Q. I mean, it's an overwhelmingly large and tedious, and in most cases, obviously, a very lengthy process. AI is taking one of those three major components that is so time consuming, like you mentioned, and it's just cutting that down by a crazy amount. A person who writes their own blogs on average is going to spend about 5 hours or so per blog post. Over the course of a year, if they're doing one blog post a day, that's about 1,800 hours. So if you take that and you say, great, well, how much time am I going to spend with having the same exact amount of blog posts? Most likely they're going to be actually better in terms of quality and also SEO, 2.5 hours for the full year.
Wow.
That's right. So, I mean, the savings is astronomical. And if you have 1,800 hours that you're able to dedicate towards, again, just doing sales and worrying about actually bringing that money home, especially if you're dealing with a long duration for a close, this is a no-brainer. And it is the fundamental piece that people really need to start with is their blog post, their long form content, and then leverage it from there for the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I guess where I'm thinking now, I'm maybe taking you outside of your knowledge base, so you could tell me. But can you share with us any ideas about how long it takes to get this kind of content strategy to convert? Because I really think that most agents and
Yeah.
brokers are just not doing it, and so they're
Yeah.
implementing something and going, okay, this is going to cost me X. How many months is it going to take before I start to see lead flow from that? From
Yeah.
that effort.
So I would say that comfortably, 6 months, you can start seeing some measurable results that you go like, oh wow, this actually feels different. Um, it will be amplified, however, if you already have your other prongs in place, because SEO is a lot like you're trying to have Google refer you to a friend. If Google says, hey, listen, I want to have you meet Matt, for example, and he goes, Matt's a great guy. And then we're talking about podcasts. But then I show up and you don't have a podcast. Might be a great guy, but he doesn't have a podcast, or he doesn't have a following. So if you think about SEO in that perspective, you have to have your content marketing, right? Because you have to be relevant, you have to be outreaching, you have to be providing quality frequency, which brings in traffic. That shows that you're desirable. You have to also have your website, which of course needs to make it so that it's your home, it's your home page. People need to want to stay. They want to like you, right? If you look presentable and your home looks good and they're talking about you after they leave, Google likes that. Then the other part is this, I call it the KYC of SEO, which is your GMB. So as long as your GMB is okay, your home is okay, and your content is adequate, you'll see that you're going to be able to do some organic outreach. It's not easy. I'm not going to say it is, but that's your three prongs. We are taking care of one of those most major components and just cutting it down to a fraction of what it really takes for everybody else in the marketplace. And the other two are very easily outsourced to just a regular technical person. And you're set, you're off to the races. So this is a huge piece to be able to have an edge. This is a huge piece to be able to stay up to date. And it is one of those things where you're either the person who is leveraging AI and Google's rewarding it, or you're not. And if you're not, it's referrals, man. And you better be doing really, 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 really good business.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah.
okay, cool. Well, so let's go back to the comparison of ChatGPT, particularly in terms of the onboarding and how does this work? If somebody says, hey, I'm an agent or a broker in the Triangle. I'd love to try this out. What do I have to do? What do I have to tell Prymo in order for it to know who I am and give me the output of posts that I want? What does that look like?
Okay, so it really comes down to what's your website. So this is a prerequisite. You do have to have a website, and our AI is most compatible with HubSpot, with WordPress, and Shopify. So if you have those three, you're doing really well. And we focus on those because SEO is best typically with those three platforms. So website, and then who's your target demographic? We want to know who those people are that are buying houses from you. And then we are asking the question of who's your competition? Where are these people that are or would buy from you? Where are they hanging out? Where are they getting their information from? And then the only other real piece that we're targeting is, okay, great. What is that SEO keyword, key phrase that your clients are going to ask to find you? That's it. If you notice with ChatGPT, you have to know what you want at the end of the road for you to be able to figure out if you even got what you wanted in the first place with your inputs. Ours is the opposite. Our AI actually does the research. It does the citing. It does the sourcing. It does the comparisons. It's actually out there in the internet doing all of it for you. And ChatGPT, if you were to plug in and say, "Hey, can you do this research for me in the internet?" ChatGPT will come back to you and say, "I'm not allowed access. I can't actually do research like that." So we are leveraging out in the marketplace and then bringing that back to create that fully optimized content for you. And again, you just got to worry about the click. That's
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Man, super awesome. I appreciate the introduction. How does everybody take a look at or get started with Prymo?
Yeah. So right now you can go to prymo.ai. That's Prymo.ai. We do have our offers on there. You can take a look at a little bit more details about what does it do, how does it work, and it's hilarious. It's actually so simple that it confuses people. When I say you just click a button, people are like, "No, there's got to be more." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. Just you see your draft, just click the button." So but yeah, it's really cool, it's really interesting. So you can go there, and feel free to also reach out to me. I love answering questions. I love being able to help out people in the real estate space. All of you guys are doing incredible work as far as I'm concerned. And I have my financial licenses as well, so this is so fun and interesting to me speaking with you guys. So connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And, I'll answer any questions I can. If there's something that makes more sense to connect you with one of our team members who will be able to manage that relationship from there, then yeah, I'll connect you. I'll get you started. And it's really, really easy from start to finish. And it's very much white glove and also curated for your business and you. So we're really excited for this.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, everybody, for listening into the Triangle Real Estate Podcast. We'll see you back here again real soon.
All right. Take care, everybody. Pleasure to meet you.